when you join the 700 Club, you help people all over the world, like a little girl.
What up, y'all, peeps and folks? My social media family of subscribers, as well as any visitors to that being in my own immediate personal social media channel, and likewise chat room or comment section. How are you all doing? Well, hopefully everyone is feeling at least okay, if not better yet to be said, to be feeling, all right, or if not best of all, to be said, to be feeling blessed and stressed, more blessed and stressed, or too blessed to possibly be calm or be stressed. You and yours, your family, friends, hopefully me and mine likewise as well, are all the same. Then I'm going to try to, you know, knock this out right quick before I were to step out to try to make it to this one soup kitchen that moonlights as a food pantry, being one of a few that I know that serves within the evening time, as in at night, compared to how most I know, being of the ones I have paid a visit to, serve during the daylight hours, you know, as in during the daytime, you know. As I'm pressed for time. And I would have stepped out that way before this most recent life crisis that happened to me, you know, and to compliment the name title to this particular present social media broadcast video as we have it here, and as I have gone about explaining, you know, not only in the basic intro as an introduction, but then likewise for the footnotes at the side, you know. And with that having been said, then let me just get right into it. You know, as I'm pressed for time to try to make it to the soup kitchen that moonlights as a food pantry, being one of just a few that I know about that feeds at night compared to most I know that I paid a visit to serve in the daytime. Then you see that I have gotten a new watch and that, on the, you know, almost had my cell phone stolen from me. You know, then now that I got in the preliminaries, a basic intro as an introduction out the way, then let me just get into it. I'm going to try to cover this within the last, I mean, cover this within the last, I don't know, like I already spoke on something. Or as I spoke on something, I'm going to try to cover this as a speed dial, this particular social media broadcast video, for the next, for the following from 5 to 10 or 15 minutes is what I meant to say. As I spoke on some such all the same in the same line thought in a sense word for the last 5 or so minutes, give or take. But anyway, though, after having gone through a rather challenging day, that was really trying my patience, working on my mind and my body, and hopefully, you know, after I had gone through all the proper policies and procedures, the protocol, otherwise, like, the day before and so on, as you all know, I have to go about the necessary business at hand to take care of that to be considered for my own immediate personal survival. So far as concerning that of apartment searching, after I had received something similar to that being a which would constitute or complement or, be considered as something similar to an eviction notice, as in a non-renewal of an apartment rental agreement, lease document, paperwork, and it's saying out there, it's his word of a letter of correspondence in printed form, was this stating in more words or less that my annual apartment rental agreement lease will not be renewed. My annual yearly apartment rental agreement lease will not be renewed. You know, and as it was presented onto me by one of the management real estate personnel representatives, after the this one, a neighbor from damn hell, among the damn dozen of public news problem neighbors that managed to flip the script upon me after I went through all the proper policies of procedures and protocol to address the issue, to state my grievances and complain to not only the management of the building, but then likewise to report him to the police for the numerous times that he himself has violated his apartment rental agreement lease, and at the same time disregard and or disrespect my rights and privileges as his fellow neighbor. you know, and here it is, out of resentment, he retaliates by convincing the management of the building to give me something similar to an eviction notice that he himself should have received much rather instead of me, you know. And whereas the resulting developments is that I have to find me new digs, a new pad, a new place of residence, an apartment available vacancy before the deadline, unless I can get housing lawyers involved to litigate my legal case of a landlord and tenant dispute so I can buy more time for the reason or purpose being in order to not only save money for moving expenses, but also to save money to make sure that I can pay the first month's rent at the new place of residence if I were to succeed. And I think I have found one for myself. I'm just waiting for the final developments and results of my having gone through all the proper policies and procedures, protocol, you know, with paperwork and etc. And after having searched for some and such, making inquiries via that, electronic communications, and in addition to having a live, face-to-face conversation with prospective future new landlord, yeah. But then and in the meantime though, as I'm trying to get everything situated, and after having gone through a challenging day as we have it for even so the most recent one as we have it for where I'm at for the Midwest of the USA, you know, some character, a thief, had taken the liberty to attempt to steal my cellular device, my electronic cellular device, as in cell phone to simply say, you know, disregard that. Some crank call is calling. And, well, this thief, whoever it was, shithead piece of shit, excuse my promise, but I think you know what I meant to say. You get the general idea. This rephrase that this dickhead prick be one a bastard or a bitch, whatever race and whatever walk of life, had literally actually had stolen my cell phone but returned it to me, only being that because I did not have it unlocked. Otherwise, my cell phone would have never been returned to me. You know how that is. It doesn't take no, it don't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out. It's no brainer as self-explanatory. As well as it would go without saying, it would go double, triple be said. Only reason why it was returned to me is being that because it would be of not any use if the thief cannot get into it, to change the pin, the passcode, the password, and to refresh the electronic cellular device of a cell phone by refreshing it to the original factory mode, whereas it would become a new cell phone from there, and then it would be one's own personal possession and one's own personal use, you know. And whereas I usually keep my cell phone in another pocket upon my person for my clothing, and someone had put it elsewhere only after having found out that it cannot be used, being that because the cell phone was not locked. That's the only reason why the cocksucker, the thief, had returned it. And if I were to have had it unlocked, I would have been at practically, if not possibly, a total loss. All the while knowing that I have to move from my present place of residence of a building address location, and whereas the cell phone serves as a lifeline for anybody who knows what I'm talking about, who possesses a cell phone, even a free government issued cell phone. But then this is the brand name cell phone. This is not a free government issued cell phone. This is a brand name. This is a regular cell phone that somebody had attempted to steal from me. Well, literally, actually did steal it from me, but returned it just that quick. Only being because it was not unlocked. Thank God for that. But then for the cocksucker that stole it, he really is a piece of, No, much rather than say, I'm going to rephrase that as well. I'm going to say, you're a loser, jerk. Be you a bastard or a bitch. Well, that much I can say. if not, you know, bounce around those cuss words otherwise, you know, uh, you know, and our alternative vocabulary was displays of profanity or cuss words, that are not mentioned in, the good book, God's word, the Bible, the basic instruction before leaving earth. You gotta make a reference to salvation and deliverance in Christ, our Lord and Savior, the Messiah, deliverer. You know. So this cocksucker has stole my phone. It could have been anybody. It could have been one of these damn dickhead pricks in the building here that has it in for me. Being a fellow neighbor, or it could have been one. It could have been one of these here maintenance personnel. This one particular that acts like he has it in for me. You know, or it could have been one of the real estate management personnel representatives, for that matter, or it could have been somebody that I could have encountered upon premises and properties of mass transit of a public transportation system, or it could have been for the atmosphere of a place of business. Likewise, because I remember I'm having to squeeze by quite a crowd of other persons for either or, for that either the atmosphere of a mass transit of a public transportation system with all these many different bus and or train routes, or for that of a place of business atmosphere, like say for that of a a pharmaceutical business store moonlighting as some kind of a supermarket or mini mart, you know. Yeah, and I was pissed, I think that, or it could have been somebody that was standing behind me while I'm waiting for a bus or a train, as something supposed to get them on time as a pedestrian, as well as it could have been another passenger as I had become a part of the ridership. For that is the same as said in question, the former previous prime mentioned about mass transit of a public transportation system, you know. Or it could have been somebody that could have been walking behind me, likewise as a pedestrian crossing the street from one sidewalk to the next, And I was pissed. I was like, damn it, son of a. I mean, you all know the feeling when you lose something so important. Like I said before, so I say again, and I stay for the record. Likewise, how that a cell phone is a lifeline. Even for a believer in God, not to mention for like that much more for an unbeliever, non-believer. So I was pissed. I was cussing and swearing, and then only found out that my cell phone was returned to me, was put in another pocket of my clothing. Because I would usually put it in the upper pocket for a lightweight summer jacket. Somebody put it in my pants pocket, returned it to me like that, only being because the thief, whoever it was, had seen or saw that it was of no use, not of any use to one, seeing how the cell phone was not unlocked, but was locked. If I had caught one at it, man, there would be hell to pay. But then I'm just gonna force myself to say this here and then, close out. And that is, if you haven't gotten Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, I hope that you would think to do so now. By the blessed one, you advance so you go to heaven, you don't have to go to hell. Peace.